Hi, everyone. Good Wednesday. Thanks for being here this October 23rd. A beautiful day weather-wise. Hope you found an excuse to get out and enjoy it. If not, you got another one coming at you tomorrow, and you better take advantage of it because that's it for your forecast as far as temperatures and sunshine being both favorable at the same time. We'll elaborate more and talk about the frost in just a few moments. That's headed our way in just a few moments. We also have a lot of news to cover tonight. I will go out in closing tonight by telling you what's out and coming out in tomorrow's special edition, as they always are. But this one's a really good one, of the Sagersville Independent. Throughout this week, tomorrow's paper, and some stories here to come, and some that I can't even really talk about as of yet, we're really talking in a lot of different instances about a lot of our veterans being honored for their service, for their lives being given, for our freedom. And we'll have a few of those references tonight and some much more to come that we can't really talk about as of yet, as they're still kind of being organized. But that is certainly a topic that we're going to be able to stay on for quite some time. Tonight's topics will include a couple of updates on a couple of notable cases in the area and surrounding area. I also had a few moments to sit in studio today with Kentucky's state auditor, who stopped by for a brief talk and interview, coverage of the Sagersville City Council meeting, and much, much more before I leave you. I do have this for you. The Kentucky Office of Homeland Security has awarded the Montgomery County Fiscal Court and the City of Pikeville each a competitive grant to make necessary upgrades to the areas of communications and radio systems. Montgomery County and Pike County, only 2 of 31 counties awarded funds through the State Homeland Security Grant Program. The communications and radio system, 911, of course, a vital component of the community's response to emergency situations. First responders, of course, utilizing their lives, and those who are there are trying to assist, depending on those radio communications when coordinating responses. We do not have the details of that grant as of yet. I do believe that this will coincide with the current moving or relocating of the Montgomery County 911 Center from the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center to the courthouse, which we've been talking about now for literally a couple of years. I had reached out to Montgomery County Judge Executive Matt Wyman earlier today. He was at a CACO conference and unavailable to find out more from him, but we will have more on that as soon as that information is available. I've got an announcement for you real quickly. I've got more on our calendar, of course, but it's coming up, and it's really the only homeless shelter, or the closest homeless shelter, I should say, to us, which also helps individuals from our area. And they are doing it again, Dancing for Shelter. That's next Friday night, not this Friday night, but the next, over at the Mountain Arts Center. Last year they had a sold-out show, so if you want to go, see some folks having a lot of fun, get your tickets early, $18 or $28, I think. You're invited to be a part of an incredible night of dancing to benefit the Floyd County Homeless Shelter. They have all sorts of twists, twirls, and intrigue, all for a good cause. A lot of folks are volunteering to get up and put themselves out there dancing. The event featuring many local civic, business, and community leaders showcasing their best dance moves to put on an amazing show for a great cause. It's kind of like the national version, of course, where they have professional dancers to some degree with them. Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams, Prestonsburg Mayor Les Stapleton, Dr. Joanna Bonnie Hensley, Judge Tom Smith, Attorney Mickey McGuire, Highlands ARH CEO Tim Hatfield, a lot of others all being there, being judged, and hopefully with your attendance next Friday night. And they did sell out last year, so if you want to go, it is good advice to get your ticket as soon as possible. He wants out of jail. He wants his sentence set aside or corrected. Maybe surprisingly to you, I'm talking about Eric C. Kahn, who is 1 year into a 26-year sentence. A handwritten filing issued or filed just days ago by him on his behalf lists the reasons why he thinks he should be set free. Kahn, as most everyone in the entire nation and other parts of the world as well knows, was sentenced to almost 30 years, 27 years to be exact, just last year for, of course, a $600 million Social Security fraud case, and then fleeing, of course, to the Honduras, where he was captured at a Pizza Hut some time later after being on the run for weeks. He is requesting that judges set aside or correct his sentence based on a couple of different facts, claiming that there was a conflict of interest with his original counsel and that his second counsel or lawyer, which replaced the first, was ineffective for advising him to plead guilty to escape, when in fact he says the escape charge did not pertain to his case or was not relevant because he hadn't been taken into custody technically when he left the country, but was rather awaiting trial after being released under certain terms and conditions. In the conclusion portion of his filing, he says that once again he finds himself in the middle of a lockdown at the entire facility while a deadline is nigh. He says he is working as a full-time personnel and instructor in the education department, calling the lockdown unexpected, saying that he does not have any of his prepared documents and materials available in his cell to use in the preparation of his pleading. In another story that we here in McGoffin have been watching and has been making headlines, neighboring Breathitt County, Judge Executive Jeff Noble, formerly indicted a couple of months ago, now facing another indictment, more than a dozen new charges on this second and subsequent indictment for similar charges of abuse of public trust and theft. Noble initially indicted by a Breathitt County grand jury some weeks ago for charges of abuse of public trust and unlawful taking, theft charges in regards to some $702 worth of lumber that had been purchased, but had said authorities been given to a resident for private or personal use. During that or after that initial investigation began, there were other allegations involving the purchase of diesel fuel for his personal vehicle or for personal use, totaling just under $1,000. It appears as though those allegations or incidents are what has led to this new subsequent indictment, as he was earlier indicted on a count again of abuse of public trust and a count of theft by unlawful taking. The judge executive now faces 16 new counts of official misconduct in the first degree and theft for $986.06 worth of diesel fuel, which authorities say was purchased with county money for his personal or private use. Right now, for pennies on the dollar, a huge selection of like-new laptop computers, a fresh stock of video games, the Cadillac of dog tracking and training systems, new hunting rifles, accessories, and ammo. And they always stock, buy, sell, and pawn gold and silver coins and jewelry with a new selection just in at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Sagersville, 349 Pawn.
Car wrecks, truck wreck, disability, workers' comp, slip and fall, wrongful death. Your case matters to you.
Your case matters to us. Contact McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
You're going to absolutely fall in love with all the new arrivals at the seasonal shop, from all the autumn colors and styles in ladies' designs, shoes and accessories, Charlie Page, Mud Pie, you know the name brands, to jewelry, Simply Southern, Natural Life, caps, cups, and more, to rooms of home decor. And all you'll need to decorate for the fall and Halloween seasons, plus everything from coffees to candles, but hurry, because everything Christmas is already arriving daily and will be out soon, and fall will be gone before you know it. At Frazier's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Whether it's diabetes, arthritis, or injury causing you foot and ankle problems, or excruciating pain in your heel that's often easily treatable, Dr. Cheryl Cheney has over 21 years in group and private practice as one of the region's leading podiatrists, and she's now practicing right here in Sagersville. Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney is now seeing new patients, young and old, at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville, just next to the Lee's Famous Recipe. Call for an appointment today. We have finally done it. After years and years of extensive testing, we not only invented the chicken sandwich, we have perfected the chicken sandwich. Come and try it and love it with a big, famous dipped breast strip, pickles and mayonnaise, or however you like it fixed. And if you like, make it a double. Just make your way to Lee's to get it, and grab a cookie while you're there. at your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where even our ice is famous. City Council coverage coming up in just a few moments. Right now, I have an interview, another day closer to the November 5th election, another state candidate to stop by the Mortimer Media Group Sayersville Independent Studios. This one last seen here on Your News Today some months ago in the morning after, still in flood-soaked clothes after losing his shoes and literally his car to floodwaters on the Mountain Parkway. Fortunately, Kentucky State Auditor Mike Harmon brought some sunny skies along with him today to our studio.
Well, we've been traveling throughout the state. Today we were in Pikeville, and on the way back from Pikeville, headed to Louisville, traveling the entire state. But basically, we've been a lot of places, but the message we're carrying is this. Of course, anybody can find out more about our race at mikeharmon.com. But the message is we're an auditor of first. We did the very first audit of the CLEP Fund, the Kentucky Law Enforcement Foundation Fund, ensuring that tax dollars that are intended for law enforcement actually end up with law enforcement. We did the very first audit of AOC. Now, it's not the interesting young lady in D.C. that's Administrative Office of the Courts, and we had 20 findings on that, and certainly they can check that out. Probably the one that we talk about a lot was that actually leased space for one of the judges from a company that just happened to be owned by his two sons and just happened to be 3 times more expensive than the next closest bid. We did an audit of Kentucky Wired, where unfortunately we showed Governor Beshear, or former Governor Beshear, on the way out the door flipped the script on the Kentucky taxpayers and took us from a $30 million investment to a $1.5 billion investment, and certainly hopefully they can get that up and going. I know they lit a couple of lines already, so hopefully they can get that going. We stay pretty busy. We also try to work with our officials as much as we can. I had 13 years in the Kentucky General Assembly, where basically it allows me a little more interaction, so that we've passed a lot of good legislation to help government be efficient, effective, and ethical. And a perfect example of that is we passed, worked with our General Assembly to pass Senate Bill 144 in 2018 that basically allows your sheriffs and your county clerks, if you have a clean audit the year before, then you can apply for what's known as an agreed upon procedure, an AUP. And why is that important? Well, one, it's important for a couple of different reasons. One, it helps save them money because obviously we invoice for our audits. The other thing it does, it allows them, gives them an incentive to try if they've got a couple of items to get cleaned up. But the other item that it also allows us in a time frame to when government is trying to get smaller and smaller, allows us to prioritize our auditors and take them off low risk audits and put them on more high risk audits. We've also been kind of an auditor at first when we issue some data bulletins. Well, basically a data bulletin is kind of like taking information, distilling it down, and putting it in a format so most people have time to actually take a look at it and have a greater understanding. Perfect example was our debt data bulletin, where we showed that the state actually had $54.6 billion in debt. About 80% of that is the unfunded pension liability. So if you take that $54.6 billion divided by every man, woman, and child in the state of Kentucky, that basically equates to about $12,300 for every man, woman, and child in the state of Kentucky. So it kind of gives you an idea of the magnitude that we're currently facing. But we stay pretty busy. Now, from the campaign trail, I'm endorsed by the Kentucky Right to Life. My opponent, unfortunately, is endorsed by the Emily's List, which is the pro-abortion group, because pro-life has been something very near and dear to myself. I received an A grade and endorsement from the NRA. My opponent got an F from the NRA. I mean, you really have to work hard to get an F from the NRA. And then from a standpoint, we also have the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police, the state FOP. And I would say that's probably because of the CLEP Fund audit, as well as, we're always very open if they have additional concerns. So we stay busy. We'll do the same. We'll try to be an auditor at first. We'll try to be a resource, and we'll try to listen to the people. And for those of you who have tips of waste, fraud, or abuse, you can go to auditor.ky.gov or call 1-800-KY-ALERT. That's our actual auditor line. And of course, if you want to find out more about the campaign, you can go to mikeharmon.com. We would appreciate your support.
there.
All righty.
Harmon did close in saying that he does always instruct all the auditors in the state auditor's office to follow the data. No targets and no free passes for anyone, but to simply follow the data. I'll be right back. It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Salyersville. 349-8785. At Salyersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Salyersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Salyersville National. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. The Salyersville City Council met in regular session earlier this week. First, a presentation by a local man, part of an organization who wants to try to see laws enacted to prevent individuals from leaving their grass clippings from mowing of their lawns on roadways, which is a serious danger, he says, to motorcyclists.
Basically, what I'm here for is to hopefully get some type of ordinance passed on the grass clippings that is being thrown out in the roadways during the summertime. And it is pretty dangerous. I mean, if y'all have never ridden a motorcycle before, any vehicle under 1,000 pounds, it is dangerous. Whether it be a side-by-side, whether it be a four-wheeler, but mainly a two-wheel vehicle. Two-wheel vehicles, it's just like hitting a sheet of ice. We're just out looking, for safety of anybody in here in the county, or even people coming to our county, for like our, events that we have going on here in Salyersville. We would just like to get some type of ordinance passed, some type of law passed. I have talked to quite a few law enforcement officers about it and asked them if something was passed, would they enforce it to the fullest extent? And they gave me 100% yes.
And after some more details provided to the city council, the city attorney said that he would look into the legalities of the issue and present some information back before the city council in the next meeting. Banks did say that there were some other cities in Kentucky which have already established either laws or ordinances setting fines for individuals who put grass clippings into the road while mowing and then fail to remove them, causing serious risk to motorcycle and other recreational riders. Later, there was a unanimous dedication and declaration concerning Coal Branch Road here across from City Hall in downtown Sagersville. The road, now dedicated as Floyd Franklin Skidmore Patrick Memorial Road, a Korean War veteran who spent much of his life on Coal Branch. The city following a similar dedication by the county, with the county to erect signage dedicating it as such in the near future.
It really won't change Coal Branch Road as Coal Branch. It stays that way, but it's just a commemorative type name for Skidmore that lived on Coal Branch. Corporal Patrick listed in the United States Army in the early part of 1951. After completing his training, he received orders to serve in Korea. Was assigned to the Company G of the 7th Infantry of the 3rd Infantry Division. After arriving in Korea, it did not take long for Corporal Patrick and his unit to get engaged with the enemy. During one of their engagements, the division was in a defensive position on the ridge Changyong-ni, Korea. The company came under heavy attack by a superior enemy force employing automatic weapons and small arms fire. Corporal Patrick, a rifleman in the 2nd Platoon, realized very quickly he was in a position to take action to help his unit, and the company reorganized in order to save many lives of his unit. He took action and fearlessly exposed himself to the devastating hostile fire, shooting his rifle as rapidly as possible. He threw hand grenades with accuracy, which inflicted heavy casualties among the on-rushing enemy. He remained in his position until a wounded comrade was evacuated and his unit was successfully reorganized. Corporal Skidmore Patrick's gallantry and exemplary action reflected high credit upon himself and military service, whereas Floyd Franklin Skidmore Patrick's heroic actions were awarded with the Silver Star, Bronze Star, and many commendations.
And among the other items of business was the mention by the mayor of a resignation of Terry Likens on the city tourism board. He was also going to go over the complete list of those who were on the board and vacancies during the next meeting and make some suggestions to fill any current vacancies, including Likens's. From there, an announcement and reminder about this big spooky Saturday night and the rest of your community calendar. First, a spooky reminder about the fun and frightful time you can have this Saturday at the Sagersville Renaissance on Main's Halloween event. They're going to be having so much fun. Of course, you've got Beta Club students and crafts and snacks and the Haunted Ghost Walk. This has grown every year. It's gotten more popular every year. There's going to be free popcorn. The dance team will be there performing, as well as all the dance clinic participants. And they're going to be doing much more than just Thriller. They're going to be performing to a lot of other your most famous and fun Halloween tunes, the Monster Mash and Somebody's Watching Me, Ghostbusters, and Thriller. And they're going to invite the public to be a part of Thriller as well, and that's everyone who wants to be a part of it. And it all starts at 6:30 at the Sagersville Renaissance building this coming Saturday, with the dancers to start in the street at 8:30. And for the rest of our quick reminders, don't forget about the Ladies' Conference to be held at the Church of God of the Union Assembly. That is on Route 7 there, the church next to the Board of Education. This Saturday, ladies, from 10 until 1. If you have any questions or want to let them know you're coming, call Joanne McCarty at 793-2775. The 6th Annual Veterans Appreciation Lunch hosted by the Appalachian Hospice Care Veterans Committee next Thursday on the 31st at the Stumbo Wilkinson Center in Prestonsburg from 11 till 2. You can find out more by calling Charlie at 789-3841. I guess I don't have these in exact chronological order, do I? So this weekend is going to be the last for the 3rd Annual Creepy Creek Haunted House, hosted by the Middle Creek Fire Department over on 114, just $5 per person, 8 o'clock Friday and Saturday night. And when you have a calendar announcement or a birthday or an anniversary, you know what to do and where to send it, right? Lastly, this evening, sponsored by the Magoffin County Funeral Home Funeral Service listings, the first for Danny Wages, 56, of the left-hand fork of Johnson, the son of the late Denzel and Mary Wages Holleran, survived by sisters Terry Norman and Sandra Holbrook. Visitation will be this Friday afternoon, services to begin Friday evening at 7. And 69-year-old Mary Wilma Patrick of East Maple Street passed away yesterday, married to Jim Randall Patrick, who preceded her in death. She's survived by her daughters, Mary Beth Patrick and Jeannie Marie Porter. Visitation will be after 1 tomorrow. Services will start Friday at 2 from the Fritz Church of God, with the Magoffin County Funeral Home in charge of arrangements. Well, it's nothing that serious, but we've got frost rolling in tonight because we're going to see the low 30s for nighttime lows. We're also going to see the sun return tomorrow, and enjoy it while you can. So with that said, a frosty one tonight and in the morning. 33 degrees is where we should fall, close to freezing tonight. Clear skies, calm winds are going to make it feel that much more chilly tomorrow and tonight as well, with a little fog and frost tomorrow when you get up in the morning. Otherwise, it's going to warm up pretty nicely. 70 and sunny for your Thursday. Enjoy it. That's the last day of the sun for a little while, and the 70s certainly. In fact, it's only 70 I've got for you for a while. Friday, 63, 48. Clouds will increase tomorrow night. Friday, they will turn into mostly cloudy skies. A 40% chance of some showers. I think Friday night after midnight. So even though it's going to be mostly cloudy during the day on Friday, I don't expect to see any showers until Friday is just about over. But sadly, those showers look to roll into town for your weekend, and still colder air. 62 and 53 for the first half of your weekend on Saturday. And like I said, clouds and the showers holding off until then. But right now, we're going to chalk it up to about a 70 to 80% or likelihood of showers pretty much across the board, on and off at least, throughout your Saturday. Not going to be a wall-to-wall washout, but it could be a wet and rather dreary day with temperatures maybe hitting 62. So showers Saturday night to the tune of about 70%, and we're still holding on to a 40% shot of some showers. Mostly cloudy and 65 on your Sunday and 49 that night. Still, showers lingering for the rest of your weekend as well, to the tune of 20% by late Sunday. The good news is that, well, I mean, we'd rather have it for the weekend, so maybe it's bad news, but we're going to see some sunshine after the weekend's over. Monday, partly sunny, partly cloudy, 64, 42. Temperatures aren't going to go anywhere. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 62. Nighttime lows around 40. Another round of showers rolls in Tuesday and into your Wednesday. Temperatures by midweek in the mid to upper 50s and back to the low to mid 30s we'll go, holding on to a little sun, but shower chances making another appearance then. Now, with all of that said, here's a glimpse as to what's coming out in tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent. I try to encourage everyone to pick one up as soon as possible, get a subscription as soon as you can to make sure you always have yours. But tomorrow is a really good read. We've got a couple of very special stories. Melvin Rudd, of course, honored in South Korea. His children traveling to South Korea recently, as he could not make the trip to be honored, of course. Melvin's story is one that we've shared here over the years on a couple of different occasions on Your News Today, and this makes for a wonderful read in recognizing and honoring one of our veterans. Whit Brothers Ceremony, World War II heroes from Royalton, neither of which returned from Hawaii in World War II. A bridge dedicated in their honor. This is another amazing story. Has the makings of a movie, quite literally. We also have a couple of other stories that we can't really elaborate on right now, but also special recognitions and discussions that we'll be having about some other veterans here very soon. A local Sons of the American Revolution member attending the Revolutionary War Battle ceremony. Community Day checks were given out. I've still got that story to come on the newsroom, or on the news. But find out tomorrow how much money they made and was raised, and a host of other news and information. 2 more pages. Trick-or-treat and Halloween night dates set, and I have no more time to tell you about the rest of the paper. Pick one up tomorrow and see me back here tomorrow night. And thank you for watching.